Howdy everyone, it's Sam. Hope you're doing really well. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider liking the content and subscribing to the channel. And if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. Well, these here parts is a little bit extreme. I wish this was all the friggin' norm. We're up to week 10 of the 2022 NFL season. We are past the halfway point. And it's no less settled. It's still just as chaotic as what it was back in week 1. So let's get stuck into the week 10 tips for 2022. Thursday night football, or Friday morning football here in Australia, features Carolina versus Atlanta. The Panthers, the home side, are at $2.34. The Falcons are $1.61 favourites, and these two sides only met just a couple of weeks ago, literally 2 weeks ago in Atlanta, and it was the Falcons that got the W in a wild game that went into overtime, and a field goal was what sealed the deal for the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Falcons, only 2 weeks ago, they're going to get confidence from that victory. They should beat Carolina. Both these sides are pretty much going to be coming into this game the same as what they did 2 weeks ago. So I think it'll still be close, like it usually is between these two. So I'm going to go for the Atlanta Falcons to win this one 1-13. For the first time ever, the NFL is going over to Germany, and the location is Allianz Arena. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming into the game $1.69 favorites to the Seahawks $2.18. And the Seahawks, they were taken all the way to the edge, well, maybe with a few minutes to go, by the Arizona Cardinals, but they were able to score a late touchdown and win by 10 points. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in the battle of the big disappointments for this season, were able to sneak away with a victory. Can they do something similar again away in Germany? I'm not too sure, and I don't think they will, because the Seahawks, man, wow, they're 6-3. They have one of the best records in the NFL. Winning percentage wise anyway. It's an incredible year, but this is a danger game for the Seahawks. I really hope they win and provide a massive stamp of the grey and lime green over there in Germany. So go Seattle Seahawks at $2.18 as well. I think that's great value. So Seattle Seahawks to win at $2.18. Game number 3 is from Arrowhead Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs host the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs are $1.22 favourites. The Jaguars are $4.35. And the Jaguars beat the Las Vegas Raiders, coming from a massive deficit down to win. The Kansas City Chiefs were involved in a pretty good quality game of footy against the Tennessee Titans. And Patrick Mahomes was able to get them out of trouble, really, in overtime. This could be a sneaky danger game for the Chiefs. The Jacksonville Jaguars, man, they're a whole lot different compared to what they were last year. Playing with a lot more pride, but you just can't go past the Kansas City Chiefs at home. I think they'll win 14+. Game number 4 is from MetLife Stadium. The Giants host the Texans. New York Giants are $1.34 favorites. The Texans are $3.30. The New York Giants, I think, are just going to win this one flat out, 1-13. I don't think it'll be like within 7 points, but I think there'll be enough of a margin there, like a 10-point victory, for it to be comfortable. So I think the Giants are going to win this one against Houston, about 1-13. From Soldier Field, we could actually have a sneaky game between two sides that no one predicted would do all that well this year. The Chicago Bears are hosting the Detroit Lions. The Bears are $1.65 favorites. The Lions are $2.25. If Detroit can get their defense in order, they got the attack to do it. But the Chicago Bears, I don't know what's happened to them, but for the past 4 or 5 weeks, their attack is on. Justin Fields has recognized that his rookie years, it's over, the honeymoon's over. He's got to start delivering, and he has been, man. He's been really good, really impressive for the Chicago Bears. I think this could be a really sneaky good game, man. I think this could be a good game of footy. but I think the Chicago Bears might just have the better defense in the end. I'll say 1-13, but I still think it'll be relatively high scoring, like a 27 points to 24 scoreline if it's not pelting down with rain in Chicago. Pittsburgh Steelers host the New Orleans Saints, and the Steelers are $2.11, the home side, and the Saints are $1.73. The New Orleans Saints, they're not doing too bad these days, aren't they? They're still inconsistent, but they've had a couple of nice wins in recent times, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are they're the Pittsburgh Steelers of the past couple of years, aren't they? They're pretty inconsistent, but this is still going to be a sneaky chance for them to win because of the inconsistencies of New Orleans Saints, but I'll back the defense. I'm tipping the Saints 1-13 purely based off of their defense. Hard Rock Stadium is the next venue for Miami Dolphins versus the Cleveland Browns, and the home side is $1.50 favorites, and the Cleveland Browns are $2.60. Ooh, Deshaun Watson is coming. He's only a week or two away now, and the Browns were able to secure a massive victory against the Cincinnati Bengals a fortnight ago. They've been able to have a rest now, and if they can win this game, their playoff hopes are well and truly alive, especially with Deshaun Watson coming back in the next couple of weeks or so. Miami Dolphins, man, though, they're just about the real deal, aren't they? They've had a couple of late fade outs over the past couple of seasons, but with the likes of Tyreek Hill in there and with Tua Tagovailoa having more minutes under his belt, man, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL this year. This could be a good game, but I think just back at home, I think the Miami Dolphins are going to get this one 1-13. And this is the game of the round. This is the Buffalo Bills versus the Minnesota Vikings from Buffalo, and the Bills are $1.45 favorites to the Vikings $2.78. Minnesota Vikings, time is nigh, the time is here, time is now. If you can put up a really good performance but go down, I still think that you might be able to buy a few more believers. Obviously, if you win, that quadruples. But if you show up like you did against the Philadelphia Eagles, yeah, that whole 7-1 or 8-1, 7-1 record that you've got going on, it just means that you guys have had a pretty luckily easy draw in 2022. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills, they went down to the New York Jets last weekend, and the New York Jets have been decimated by injuries as well. So an absolutely wild upset there. Maybe the upset of the entire season, and that is saying something. The Buffalo Bills are back in front of their home fans as well. The Minnesota Vikings, though, this is the biggest game of their season. It might be the biggest game of the past couple of years for this franchise, as so far as proving themselves as legitimate contenders for at least a championship game. Not just talking Super Bowl, but just to get to the preliminary final, as it were. So I'm going to tip the Buffalo Bills just because I do still think that they, even though they've now lost a few games now or a couple of games, and the Philadelphia Eagles are still undefeated, still, man, Buffalo Bills, bro, you can't take them lightly, even if they might now be susceptible to an upset loss. But I'm going to go Buffalo Bills to win this one 1-13. From Nissan Stadium, the Tennessee Titans are hosting the Denver Broncos, and the Titans are $1.64 and the Broncos are $2.26. And I think the Broncos, man, I think they're kind of lucky not to be $3 outsiders, because I think the Tennessee Titans last week, in their loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, actually proved a lot of doubters wrong, actually, even though they still lost with a young quarterback slinging the ball as he was on the other night against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Titans, they took the Chiefs all the way to the edge, but unfortunately fell short. For the Denver Broncos, though, man, they got the win. I think it was against the Jaguars over there in London a couple of weeks ago. Russell Wilson, he's not back. I don't think the Denver Broncos are back just because of one win. Tennessee Titans, however, man, that was a pretty good performance, hopefully, and they would be wanting to build off of that performance and get the dub in front of their fans this weekend. So I'm kind of surprised that the Denver Broncos are as close as what they are in the betting market on sports.com.au, but I'm going to go the Tennessee Titans to win this one by 14+, whether or not Ryan Tannehill shows up at quarterback or not. From Allegiant Stadium, it is Las Vegas Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts, and the Raiders are $1.39 favorites to the Colts $3.05. who the hell knows what's going to happen in this one? Who the hell knows what's going to happen in this one? The Indianapolis Colts fired their head coach. They're having a sweep through the coaching ranks as well. And the next coach on the chopping block, I'd imagine, would be Josh McDaniels for the Las Vegas Raiders. These two sides have been diabolical in 2022. And I think because the Colts are so disrupted at the moment, and there's just a little, I don't know, there's a little bit less drama going on at the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to tip the Las Vegas Raiders to win this one 1-13. But heaven help the coach if they lose this game against the Indianapolis Colts, who have gone through the week, fortnight, the season that they have had. If the Las Vegas Raiders lose this game in front of their home fans against the Colts by any margin, that coach is gone the next day. I'm telling you. Then we're off to SoFi Stadium. The Los Angeles Rams are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams are $1.56 favorites to the Cardinals, $2.44. That's not bad value on the Arizona Cardinals, man. When the Arizona Cardinals can put together a complete performance, they're going to be a really good team. But right now, they're only playing a half a footy. They're only playing 3/4 of footy. And then that one quarter, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's just becoming way too disastrous for him. It's too much. And for the Los Angeles Rams, they were about to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then Tom Brady just pulled out some old school magic. I want to tip Arizona Cardinals. The value is there at $2.44. The chaos that is the NFL proves that tipping the Cardinals in this instance, it would probably be the right choice. But Arizona is just as inconsistent as the next side. Bugger it. I'm going to tip the Arizona Cardinals to win this one 1-13. Lambeau Field is the location for our next match. It's the Green Bay Packers hosting the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are $1.43 favorites. The Packers are $2.86 outsiders. Holy crap, Green Bay, man. They are falling. They are falling really, really bloody quickly. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, they're rising. They're going to be coming off of a bye. But I still sense danger for the Dallas Cowboys. This is all set up for the Green Bay Packers to go home and get a win. It may not save their season, but it's all set up for the Green Bay Packers to go home and get a win against the Cowboys, who are playing really well, really, really well. I'm going to stick with the Dallas Cowboys. I wouldn't be friggin' surprised if Green Bay get the dub, though. From Levi's Stadium, San Francisco 49ers hosts the Los Angeles Chargers. The San Francisco 49ers are $1.31 favorites. The away side are $3.52. The Chargers are just way too inconsistent themselves. They are decimated on a couple of different fronts as well. The 49ers, they're good, man. They're going to be in this season big time. They're going to go deep into the playoffs this year, in my opinion. And I think they'll get the job done kind of easily, 14 plus this weekend against the Chargers. And week 10 concludes with Monday Night Football, or Tuesday morning football here in Australia. It's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders. The Eagles are $1.18 favorites. The Commanders are $4.95. I do think Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game, but I'm mightily intrigued. I'm really interested to see what kind of performance the Commanders do put up. Their season may already be done. They're still in it with just a bit of a flicker though. I mean, if they win, it's still alive. At the moment, it's just barely hanging on by a thread because they're not at 500 yet. But I'm interested to see how the Commanders go in this game against Philadelphia. So I'm going to go Philadelphia Eagles to win this one. I'll go 14 plus. I think they'll have too much power in attack. Yo, that's it for me from Nelson Bay, New South Wales, guys. The NRL draw is coming out tomorrow. There's plenty more news to get through with the Rugby League World Cup, both on the men's and women's side of things. I'll try and get some stuff out as soon as possible, as well and as crisp as possible as well. So thank you all very much for your continuous support during this time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.